Have you ever asked yourself this simple but huge question? If I had $1 million, how long could I actually live off it?
Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Yes!
Most of us picture yachts, fancy vacations, and never working again. But the truth is way more interesting and a lot less straightforward. Today, we're breaking it all down, step by step. So by the end, you'll know whether $1 million could last you your whole life or disappear in just a few years. So first, let's clear something up. $1 million is a lot of money. It's way more than the average person will ever have sitting in their bank account. But it's not the unlimited fortune we see in movies. In fact, depending on your lifestyle and where you live, $1 million could either stretch decades or burn out before you even hit retirement age. The biggest factor here is your lifestyle. Let's say you live super frugally. You don't eat out much, you don't buy fancy cars, and you stick to the basics. You could live on maybe $30,000 per year. At that rate, $1 million could last you over 30 years. That's a solid chunk of time, possibly enough to cover you from age 40 all the way to 70. But what if you live in a big city, go out often, and want to enjoy the finer things? Well, that could easily cost $100,000 per year. Suddenly, that million only lasts 10 years. And just like that, you're back to square one. Where you live matters more than you think. In some places, a modest apartment, groceries, and transportation might only cost a couple thousand a month. In other cities, that same lifestyle could cost 3 or 4 times as much. Here's an example. In Midwest America, $1 million might last 25-30 years. But in New York City or San Francisco, the same money might barely last 10-12 years. So really, location can be the difference between retired for life and money gone before 2035. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Inflation. Prices don't stay the same forever. Remember how cheap gas or groceries used to be even just 10 years ago? That same $1 million today is worth way less than it would have been in the 1990s. And 30 years from now, it'll stretch even less. So even if you budget perfectly, inflation can slowly eat away at your spending power, making your million feel smaller and smaller every year. Okay, but let's flip it around. What if you don't just sit on that money? What if you invest it? If you put $1 million into something safe like index funds, you could pull out maybe 4% each year without running out of money. That's about $40,000 per year. Forever. Not bad, right? That's enough for a modest lifestyle without ever touching your original million. And if you're more aggressive with investing, real estate, businesses, or stocks, you could make way more. Of course, you could also lose big. Let's walk through some realistic examples. Frugal life. You live on $35,000 a year. Avoid big expenses and maybe move to a cheaper city or even another country. Your million could last 30 years or more. Middle lifestyle. You spend about $60,000 a year, covering a house, food, and some travel. Your million could last around 15-20 years. Luxury life. You spend $100,000 per year, new car every few years, luxury vacations. Your million lasts less than 10 years. So the answer really depends on the choices you make. Here's something people forget. When you suddenly get $1 million, it's easy to think it'll never run out. That mindset leads to overspending. A bigger house, a nicer car, more dinners out, and before you know it, half your money is gone in just a few years. That's why so many lottery winners go broke. Discipline, budgeting, and smart planning matter just as much as the money itself. So, the big question. Could you actually retire forever on $1 million? The answer is maybe. If you keep expenses low, invest wisely, and avoid lifestyle creep, it's possible. But if you want to live large in an expensive city, $1 million is really just a head start. You'll still need more income to carry you through. So what do you think? Would you be able to stretch $1 million for life? Or would it vanish way too fast? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm curious to see how long you think you could make it last. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more How Long style videos.